Start. Welcome to the Talk the Book program, which is being organized by AP State Council of Higher Education for the last 2.5 years successfully on every Friday, supported by the experts who are interested in reviewing the books both in Telugu as well as English. So, welcome to all the viewers for the Talk the Book program. Today we are with us on the Talk the Book program, Mrs. Uma Chilukuri, who is going to review the book, The Welch Way, 24 Lessons from the World's Greatest CEO, written by Jeffrey A. Krame. Regarding the Talk the Book program, the book reviews are being concerned with the classical, thought-provoking, or personality development programs. So, in this regard, we have with us Uma Chilukuri, who is going to introduce this book today. Regarding Mrs. Uma Chilukuri, she is a certified behavioral and mentoring adult, emotional intelligence practitioner, Joe's talk speaker, and also a top media columnist. She is passionate about offering right education, identifying right talent, building right careers, coaching women entrepreneurs, and conducting workshops on life skills. She started her career as a school teacher and having understood the importance of English for building career in today's competitive world. She continues her journey as a spoken English faculty and as a placement trainer. Currently, she is working as the principal of Nalanda Degree College in PG Center, Vijayawada. Mrs. Suma is an everywhere and is a short story writer too. She has also presented several papers in the conference. Students trained under her spanning over the past 3 decades are celebrating their lives in various fields. Few of them have become music directors and models, somehow settled as anchors. Many of them are successful entrepreneurs, and many others are the top MNCs. She may be reviewing the today's book, The Welsh Way. I leave it to Uma Chilukuri.
Mute and now. Unmute channel.
You please unmute, madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. In the first instance, I would like to thank APSI Chairman Hemachandra Reddy Garu for this wonderful initiative. And this would really be a best practice where reading books will be enabled, the habit will be enabled by the people. And as we also know that books are our best friends, this is one of the best practice that we all should follow. I would like to especially thank him for this invitation provided to me. And I also thank Bhaskar Rao Garu, the member and the convener of this Talk the program. And I have seen the last 2 days, the way he has been coordinating with me in doing the flyers or in enabling the Zoom links and all those things. Thank you so much, Sir Bhaskar Rao Garu. And I also want to mention the name Dr. Ramanathan Ramesh Garu, Department of English, Geetham University, Visakhapatnam, because of whom I think I got this opportunity. Thank you so much, sir. A warm welcome to all the wonderful audience, and I ensure that by the end of this session, there will be wonderful key takeaways which would help you in your career and make you successful. To begin with the program, this is the book that I would like to present, The Welsh Way. It is about the 24 lessons from the wonderful greatest CEO. You must be wondering who this CEO is. I'm going to talk about Jack Welch, who is the 8th CEO of GE, which is a multinational company, famous company in America. GE, General Electric, we all know that. So he is the 8th CEO of this company. This book is being written by Jeffrey A. Krame. Jeffrey A. Krame has penned down 9 books, and out of the 9 books, 3 books of his are on Jack Welch, the wonderful CEO. And coming to the book about Jack Welch, I already told you that he is the 8th CEO of GE, General Electric. So before proceeding into the, this thing session, I want to tell you even about what GE is. GE is an American company, multinational company, which was founded in 1892. It deals with aerospace, power, renewable energy, digital industry, additive manufacturing, venture capital, and finance. And in 2020, it has been ranked in the Fortune 500 companies. And to this company, Jack Welch is the 8th CEO. And today we are going to talk about this wonderful CEO who has left behind 24 lessons for being a wonderful CEO of any company and make the company or the organization or whatever it is a successful one. The moment Jack Welch has attained this position as a CEO, he has dreamt of a vision that GE is going to be the world's most competitive enterprise. This was his vision. And for any leader, we know that vision helps anyone to become the greatest leaders. And this was his leader. This was his vision. So, at that time, America was facing a lot of trouble. The corporate America especially is facing a lot of trouble. Poor economic conditions, global competition, and all these things. At that time, Jack Welch has become the CEO. He has been the CEO for 2 decades, 1981 to 2001. And in these 2 decades, he has shown what a corporate should be like. Actually, we all know that how corporate will be. Workers work, managers manage, the processes, the approvals, the hierarchy, the paperwork, bureaucracy, everything. All these things we have seen. But what did Jack Welch do in order to put GE on the top? In such a scenario, when he became the CEO, he thought that he would do something for the company. He wanted to bring about a change. And that change would be nothing less than a revolution. Why he calls it as a revolution? Because just now we have seen a corporate means it has a basic structure like managers manage and workers work, processes, details, everything. And this all he wanted to change. So that is the reason why he says that he is going to bring about a revolution. As soon as he attained the position, he has employed many strategies. He has closed or sold hundreds of businesses of GE. He eliminated the layers of management and he transformed the company's structure and its ways. Many of them who witnessed all this, they thought, why all this? Because GE anyhow is the biggest company. Why again all this is being done? Any change or anything will be done only to the company which is broke. But GE is already doing fine. It is on the top. But why? But here we should understand that it's only the leader who will understand and who has a vision. And this vision helped him to understand that in the coming years, there will be some problems faced by the GE company. Because he saw that this company is drowning under its own structure. So in this book, we see those 24 principles or the lessons that he has taught us. And out of those 24 lessons, I think I may not be able to cover everything in this short span of time. I'll be covering around some 20 principles, but still I will try my level best. make every lesson of his clear to every one of you. And this is called the Welch way. His name is Jack Welch, and the what he taught to the world is called as the Welch way. Let me share you my PPT. One second. Is the screen visible to everyone? Can any one of you respond, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. So this is the Welsh way, 24 lessons from the world's greatest CEO, presenter, myself, Chilukuri, impacting lives through continuous learning. I believe in continuous learning, and with this learning, I would like to impact the lives. This is lesson number 1. Alter the look. What do you find there? Alter the look. Why do I say alter the look? Because many of the corporates or whatever it is, basically they talk about the management, managers, managing, all these things. But Jack Welch had altered the outlook. He says that it is not management or it's not managing, but it is to lead a company. So in order to lead a company, because what he says is through managing, there can be anything happening. Like there is even a negative aspect included in this, involved in this when you manage. But when it is leading, you, you enhance the qualities of the employees, you enhance the quality of the company, and you always make it into a best company. So he always believed in leadership. And what he says is no monopoly, because managing is nothing but it's just monopoly. And he believes in leadership. He thinks that good ideas can be contributed by anyone. Actually, normally everyone has, a feeling that an ideas or anything can be only coming from the boardroom, the managers. But he denied that. He says that good ideas can be contributed by anyone, even the commonest employee. So for him, the idea is very important, but not the source. For him, he says that the hero is the person who comes out with new ideas. And according to him, if the company relies on his ideas, means like he is the CEO now, he is the eighth CEO. Suppose as a CEO, he is the only person who has to take the ideas and who has to, take the ideas. Then what would have happened to the company? According to him, he says that the company would have long back sink, because it's not only the leader who gets the ideas, even the commonest person or the employee in the organization can get the ideas. So that is how he used to encourage ideas from everyone. Many talked about leadership, but it is only Jack Welch who had lived leadership. More than 2 decades, 1981 to 2001, he continuously led the sparks, in the lives of the employees. A leader is a person who who has a vision and who works for it. And not only this, he has to even inculcate that passion in all the employees to attain that vision. And for 2 decades, he has done that. And in order to be a great leader, according to Jack Welch, you can articulate a vision and spark others to execute it. Anyone who wants to become a leader, you have to articulate a vision, and you have to have that spark. You have to, ignite that spark in everyone who is involved in attaining that vision possible. Don't manage every excruciating detail. Means when you focus on small things, when are you going to focus on the big things? That is what he used to think. So the leader has to focus on the big important things. Involve everyone and welcome great ideas from everywhere. As I told you, ideas can come from anyone. For him, hero is a person who has new ideas. So we are all looking for a leader who has this vision. And what is the next lesson of his? Getting more formal. Usually, I told you, alter the outlook. For every lesson of his, you have to alter the outlook. Getting more formal. Normally, any corporate will be formal. Formal in the sense like how I told you, procedures, ranks, hierarchy, okay, punching in the given time, living in the given time, paperworks, all these things. But what he says is you have to get less formal. Companies for many years were led like armies, strict rules, punching like how I told you. Superiors did not speak with the subordinates. Okay, and actually it is the subordinates who did the work most, but the superiors did not. Share the ideas or anything with the subordinates, where the workers are doing the work. He wants the GE to be an informal platform. Jack Welch always wanted to GE to be an informal platform, because if it is informal only, you can welcome ideas, you can get ideas from all corners of the company. And people call him, and you can see that he said that he wants an informal structure, and that he started right from himself itself. He made all the employees in the organization not to call him as Mr. Welch, but everyone can call him as Jack. That is the first example he has done. Everyone in the company can call him Jack. There were no rules. He doesn't like any rules. Rules in the sense like any rule which is hindering the progress of the company, any rule which is allowing the company not to take any quick decisions. That and all, he thought that they were needless. And he found the managers were not talking with the employees. What did he do is the basic thing. He had created a workout initiative. This is the very best thing that Welch has done, workout initiative. What happens in this workout initiative? In this workout initiative, it is a informal atmosphere where all the employees gather, and employees used to tell the boss like how it should be and how it can't be and all those things. Means it is just a platform for a normal man or a normal employee to express his ideas. This is the best initiative that Jack Welch has taken. So get less formal. He always stressed on getting less formal. For that, first thing is he asked the employees to address him as Jack. And the second one is the most important initiative that he has taken, workout, where the employees can share their ideas. So consider a once in a while informal get together. Brainstorm with colleagues and bosses. All just like how I told you previously, ideas, decisions, all these things need not only come from boardroom. It can even the colleagues, everyone can contribute to the company's growth, their ideas, suggestions, and all those things. He used to hold more informal meetings for this, like how I told you, workout. Consider a once in a while informal get together along with families. He used to give them friendly coupons in a restaurant or like that. So like that, he used to make the atmosphere less formal. This is the second lesson that we can learn from Jack Welch. And the third lesson is, when every corporate is assuming that everything is fine, what he emphasized on is to face the reality. Every organization has to face the reality, not assume that everything is fine. Because mostly what happens is we tend to understand it as a problem or a trouble only when really a problem occurs or when really we are facing a problem. But it's only the leader who can vision that, who can understand that what is in store for the company, what is the company going to face. So assuming everything is fine is not okay. You have to face the reality. Here I should mention about his roots in his childhood. For this principle, when you trace back to his childhood, his mother always used to tell him, Jack, always see the things as they are, not as you wish them to be. So this important lesson of his mother's, what he taught, what he learned from his mother, he employed here. So everywhere he used to face, he used to look at the reality, but he never understood, he never assumed that everything is fine. And he also used to call for the people to see, to understand that, to face the reality instead of assuming that everything is fine. Although everyone thought that G is fine, why all these changes now? But he is the only person who saw that this company has lost much of its market value. By the time most of its market value has been diminishing, he is the person who has understood that, who has figured it out. But many thought that G is good, it's doing fine. And he also understood that it is drowning under the weight of its own strategies and bureaucracy. So he wants to, these two are the two things he found that these are the realities. And from these two, we have to understand and bring about a change in this corporate, in this company to make it one of the most, best company in the world. He launched strategies for this in order to find out, facing reality. He faced, understanding these two things, he launched strategies, he took many initiatives, and he wanted to he wanted to bring about a change in GE for better. He laid off more than 150,000 people. He sold around 100 GE businesses of GE, and he made it into a valuable corporation. So what he always used to think is, in order to make sure you don't kid yourself, like what I told you, his mother always used to tell him one thing: Jack, don't kid yourself. Look at the things as they are, not the way you think or you wish that they would be. So the final, learnings here to make sure that you don't kid yourself. What we have to do is, you should have an outsider look. Look at the things with a fresh eye. Means when you're the person who is involved in it, they'll be completely into it. They'll be only thinking about that problems, employing the same strategies, getting the same results. But when once you have an outsider look, then you start viewing the problem and understanding the trouble or anything in a wider angle. And maybe there you'll have a new ideas may sparkle and you start employing them. So look at the things with a fresh eye. Have an outsider look so that you can face the reality, but not assume that everything is fine. Don't fall into false scenarios, traps. Usually what we do is things get better. Things will get better by themselves, we think. Give them some time. Things will get better by themselves. No, things don't get better. It is we who have to make them better. That is what Jack Welch used to say. Everyone normally thinks that things get better by themselves and you give time. But Jack used to say, no, things don't get better. You are the person who is going to make them better. For that, what are you going to do? First of all, understand the reality. Have an outsider look. Don't fall into any false scenarios, scenario traps. And the next one is, leave yourself with several options. If you want to bring about any change, bring about a change when you want to, but not when you have to. That is what Jack Welch has done here. He did not bring about the change in a GE company when he had to, but he brought about the change in the company, a revolution in the company when he wanted to, because he understood the ground reality of the company. So leave yourself with several options. Don't stick on to any strategy. That is what he used to say. And when it comes to the lesson 4, make things complex. This is what is normal corporate things. What happens actually in normal corporate? Make things complex. I have seen, for example, I just wanted to take my normal experience. I have seen many corporate people. The morning they log in till the evening, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, con calls, discussing on what to do, how to do, what to do, how to do. Arey yaar, but when are you going to do actually? You are complicating the things. Instead of that, simplify the things. Act, do. So here I just wanted to make this, take this example of my experience because I thought that this is somewhat relating. So actually in a normal corporate organizations or whatever it is make things complex. How, if it is so complex, then it is like, it is so, I mean, when you do a task, it is more challenging, more complex, then you are considered to be a hero. Simplicity is not at all called as a strength. But when you simplify, that is actually what we need. Simplify the things. That is how he altered the outlook from making things complex to making them less complex or else simplifying them. That is what he used to say. He always said, decomplicate everything. Don't complicate everything. Decomplicate. Then only we can make GE better, a best place. Same facts, same strategies, same managing these things will lead to same conclusions, right? So when you want to have a different conclusion or a different solution or a different result, what we need to do? We need to employ different facts, different strategies. Then only we'll arrive to different solutions. That's what I told you. Have an outsider look. That's what we used to say. Have an outsider look. Same facts lead to the same conclusions. No, try to view things outside the box. And for him, simplification is not at all a rocket science. Simplification is a very normal thing. But many find it simplifying the things itself is very, very complicated for many. But he used to say, simplify. And that simplification is not at all a rocket science. According to him, simplifying needs a lot of self-confidence. When you have a lot of clarity and when you have a lot of confidence, that gives you courage for simplifying. That's what Jack Welch has done. He simplified many things, many complex procedures. He had simplified everything because he is so confident that with all those strategies, he is able to make GE the best company. And where does this simplicity thrive? Simplicity thrives only in informal arenas. Simplicity thrives only in informal arenas. And that is the reason why he used to have more informal meetings for all these things. Again, the roots for this, when you trace back, we can find that Jack Welch has started his early days as a very, very normal employee in GE company. Very ordinary employee he is. In a very nimble team, very small team. He was not even a leader in that. He is just a member of a team, very small team. And over a period of years, you see that he has become the CEO. Because he used to think that, how did he rose to that position? Because he started proving himself in teams, doing better and best. And he used to say that when that worked there in small teams, it can definitely work in this biggest organization. He used to say this. Simplicity ruled. So his question is, why can't here in the biggest organization? When we are able to achieve targets in the small teams, the same simplicity or simplifying the situations can attain targets even in the largest organizations. That's what he used to say. Focus on simplicity and get new ideas. And I told you that simplifying always thrives in informal arenas. And according to Welch ideal to make things simpler. How do we make things simpler according to Welch? Simplify the workplace. First of all, simplify the workplace. No forms, no approvals, no procedures, no processes. Simplify the meetings. Here, I want to say simplifying the processes, simplifying the forms and all means where it is unnecessary. Wherever it is unnecessary, it need not be focused on that. You can skip that procedure. You can skip that procedure because those and all will be hampering your growth. They'll become a hurdles for your growth. You can't pace up fast for developing the company. So he used to say that simplify the workplace, simplify the meetings, especially. I told you informal meetings, no agendas. The agenda of the meeting of today is no agendas. There is no minute by minute meeting also. Sit, discuss, talk about ideas, share, suggest, and this can come from anyone to anyone. The source is not important, but the idea or the suggestion is very, very important. And eliminate the complicated memos and letters. Sometimes handwritten letters, handwritten posts, handwritten notes also will suffice the situation. So in such kind of situations, why do we need complicated memos and letters? And most of those memos, some 50% to 30% to 50%, no one understands what's there in that. So straight away, handwritten notes, handwritten letters, that is very, very important. That's what he said. So in the fourth lesson, he said that instead of making things complex, simplify the process. And in the fifth lesson, you see the change as threat. Normally, corporates or the bigger organizations, they see the change as threat. That is the reason why they have SOPs, standard operating procedures. But if we want to have any change in the process of the system, the organization faces it considers that as a threat. Because when all these years it's been working, it will work even for the coming days also. That is the outlook of the management or outlook of the organization, outlook of the bigger corporates. But he altered the outlook. He said, see the change as opportunity. Because change is the only thing which is constant in the world. We all know that. But when there is a change, just accept it. See that as an opportunity for growth, but don't consider it as a threat. That's what he used to say. So, see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. He always used to say that change is a part of life. As I told you just now, change is the only thing which is constant. He created far more flexible and competitive organization where the process is not rigid, where the process is friendly, where the process is approachable, where the process is lively. So he created such kind of an organization. He always considered change as an opportunity for growth, because what served some 10 years ago may not serve now, because things change, market changes, people change, customers change, technology changes. When all these are changing, the process is not changed. Then are you in an alignment with the change? No. So that's what he used to say. Change, look at it as an opportunity, not as a threat. So how to put change to workplace according to Welch? Know that change is here to stay. Yes, change is there to stay. Every time. Change is the only thing which is constant. Expect the least expected, but move quickly to a step ahead. Expect the least expected, because when we have expectations that I'm putting in this much of work, so I should get this much of result, this much of investment I'm doing, this much of turnover I should get. Expect the least and expected means you do your part, but at the same time, when you have to change, take a step forward, jump, take a leap, don't stop there. Expect the least expected, but move quickly to a step ahead. That's what he used to say. You may have your own processes, but when the situation arises, be ready to jump. Be ready to take the leap. Always have a plan B. Prepare for the inevitable change that will affect our lives. Inevitable change. As we told, change is very, very constant. Prepare for the inevitable change that will affect our lives. Don't see it as a threat, but see it as an opportunity to change. But many consider this as a threat because it is going on. Now, why should we change now? Everything is serving properly. Why there a change again? But we have to understand that change is an opportunity to grow. And that is what he has done in GE as a CEO. He brought so many changes, and we now see GE as the best company in the world. And moving on to lesson 6. Many of the corporates, they manage by authority. But he altered the total outlook. He said, lead by energizing, but not by authority. In the first lesson itself, I told you, lead. It's not manage, it is lead. Here also he says the same thing, lead by energizing. Normally, all the corporates, they manage by authority. Management, what does the management do always? Management actually is commanding, controlling. Many companies follow all this. Almost all companies follow this. But he says that you have to lead but not manage. In the first lesson itself, we have seen, don't manage, lead. Many think to run a large company like GE, they need to be authority. They need to be hierarchy. They need to be some control system. But he used to think that if there is a genuine leadership, wherein the leader is having a vision, that will take the company to places. Because the leader, what does the leader do? He has a vision. And that vision he has to instill in every employee of the organization. And that employee in turn should get passionate about it. That way he used to ignite the spark in the employees. That is how he used to lead the company. So that is what he used to do. Large companies usually have this common, this thing that authority should be there, controlling should be there. But he used to say lead by energizing. When you tell the vision, when you, disclose your vision to the employees, they will understand the bigger picture. And they will always try to see that how are they able to going to contribute to it. That is what every employee thinks about. So always they think that how am I going to contribute to this organization where the leader is having this kind of a vision. That is what every employee you have to feel. And that is what Jack Welch has done. And in order to employ or adopt Welch behaviors, what we need to do? We should not bark. No barking on subordinates. No barking on subordinates. No controlling them. Most want to help out, but also want to know how their efforts could contribute. Many employees are there. Many employees are in confusion, like they want to contribute to the company's growth, but how are they able to contribute to the company's growth? What is that one thing that they can do so that their efforts will be, taken into consideration? But that is what many of the employees are lacking. And Jack Welch, he was very clear with his vision, and he ignited that spark in all the employees in GE. So, in order to be like Jack Welch, in order to lead like Jack Welch, you never lead by intimidation. The leader should never lead by intimidation. Don't belittle the employees. Never lead them by intimidation. Let others know how their efforts are helping the organization. Everyone contributes to the organization. Only thing is, Jack Welch, he ensured that everyone's efforts are understood, are realized. Send handwritten thank you notes to colleagues and customers. He used to do that. A small appreciation to his employees. That's what he used to do. That brings about, that appreciation brings about, very positive feeling in the employee. Here, I just want to take my experience also. As I'm working here in Nalanda Degree College in PG Center, I should tell you that many of my efforts have been considered, understood, realized by my management, and many times I have been appreciated. I think that is what is making me to go on and on. So Jack Welch has done that. In lesson number 7, what is the lesson number 7 that Jack Welch has taught? Many of the corporates think that there should be an hierarchy. Who is on the top? Who comes the next? Who comes the next? Who comes the next? And this hierarchy rules the company. But Jack Welch has altered the total outlook. He said, make the intellect rule, not the hierarchy. What should rule the company? It's not a hierarchy that should rule the company. It's the intellect that should rule the company. That is the reason why he encouraged suggestions, ideas, everything from even ordinary employees. Normally, what we know in any organization, managers manage and workers work. That's what we see, isn't it? In any organization, managers manage and workers work. Here, I just want to once again tell you, go back to lesson number 1. Managers manage. Why Jack Welch used to consider this as a negative term, managers, management. Why he considered it as negative? Because managing also can be sometimes negative. You may manage in so many situations, but leader will not do that. So according to him, anyone can have good ideas. That just I told you. It's not the hierarchy that should rule. It is the intellect which should rule. It's all about capturing the intellect. Any idea, the source doesn't matter. Any idea. He designed programs like what I told you, workout program, a very good initiative. He fostered learning in the company and he encouraged exchanging ideas. Learning is a way of life, according to Welch. For him, according to him, learning is the way of life. You have to be a constant learner, continuous learner. And this learning will help you to do anything, to make an impact, or to bring about a change, or to bring about a success, or whatever it is. That learning will help you. So it is not the hierarchy which should rule, but it is the intellect that should rule. How to have, ideas how to immerse in learning. How should we immerse in learning according to Jack Welch? You can look at your competitors' websites. You can look at their ads. You can look at their catalogs. And through that, you can understand how others are doing and what we are doing. And he used to spend an hour per week learning competitive strategy, like what I told you. What is the competitive strategy? What are they doing? what are we doing? When they are doing this, what are they getting? When we are doing this, what are we getting? So in order to get this, what should we do? So he used to spend an hour per week learning competitor strategy. He used to offer rewards for very best ideas, like how I told you, coupons, lunch, vouchers, like that. He used to focus on organizations committed to training and learning. He is very much focused on training his staff or training his employees, training his teams, and encouraged them for continuous learning. And lesson number 8, move cautiously. According to the corporate, it is move cautiously. But he changed the entire outlook. He altered the outlook. What he said, pounce every day. The time and tide is not going to wait for anyone. You have to pounce every day. Pounce every day with energy. Pounce every day with strategies. Pounce every day with ideas. Pounce every day with results, targets. This is what he used to say. Pounce every day. What once he said is, I told you, he attained the position as a CEO in 1981, and till 2001, I think 2 decades he was a CEO. Once in a meeting or somewhere, he said that I was a CEO of 20 years, for 20 years. I just now wonder, had I done all this in 10 years, the other 10 years I would have done something other than this. Still, I would have done something more. I would have paced up. That's what he said once. Today's world is like a lightning paced competitive arena. We have seen how fast it is moving, today's world. In such kind of a world, there is no time for us to move cautiously. We have to pounce every day. There is no time to keep on sitting on the decisions. You have to take decision, not sit on the decision. Take decisions, pounce, strategize, work. So in 1990s, here I want to tell you one thing. Welch and his team got into action. Actually, during that Olympic Games time, 1990s Olympic Games time, Jack and his team, what did they do is they plunged into action to to secure the television rights for future Olympic Games. 1990s, the Olympic Games, Jack Welch and his team got into action to secure the television rights for future Olympic Games. And he pounced on it. And he got that, he completed the deal. And for the next 6 Olympics, he got those rights. Whereas the other company was still sitting and strategizing. This is what pouncing every day means for him. So all his, whatever lessons he has adopted, they are the traces of his childhood. Either his own experiences or lessons learned from somewhere or lessons taught or what his mother taught him, all these things. So in order to pounce every day like Jack Welch, what we need to do, live the urgency. Live the urgency. That's what we need to do. Live the urgency. Should understand the urgency of the situation. Make decisions faster. Instead of sitting on the decisions, make decisions faster. Take the decisions faster. Before closing the day, what we can do? What is tomorrow going to be? Tomorrow what? Glance towards the next day's work. Tomorrow what are all the things that we have to do? That itself planning today. This is what he used to say. In order to pounce like Jack Welch, these are the things that he has done. Live the urgency, make decisions faster. Before closing the day, glance towards the next day's work. And in lesson number 9, coming to lesson number 9, put numbers first. Usually that is what every organization does. Percentages, numbers, graphs, flowcharts. But Jack Welch changed altered the entire outlook. Put values first. That's what he said. Because for him, ultimately, who is the one who is going to bring the numbers? It is the employee. It is the people who is involved. So put values first. When you take care of the values, numbers automatically follow. That's what he said. So put numbers first. Instead of putting numbers first, he used to say put values first. Numbers always gauge the performances, right? That is correct. Numbers, percentages, always these gauge the performance. But values come first for Jack Welch. He also cares for numbers. It doesn't mean that because he put values first, it doesn't mean that he is not going to value numbers. He values numbers. But what he used to say this, just now I told you, this numbers will be attained only when employees and their values have been taken care of. That's what he used to say. Otherwise, the company will be shattered totally. Values here is not about, means he's talking about values. What are these values that he's talking about here? It's not the etiquette or the behavior or the antiquated ideas of the company, but he's talking about revising the revising how to please the customers, the strategies of how to please the customers, having global brains, as it is an MNC company, how to have a global brain. Okay, and he used to be open for new ideas. Okay, to make sure values are getting enough attention, what should we do? Focus on behaviors. Don't harp on numbers all the day. Like Jack Welch, if we have to put values first, what we need to do? We need to focus on behaviors. Don't harp on numbers all the day. Lead by example. Live up to the values. Let values rule in hiring, promotions, services. The values should be first taken care of. That's what he used to say. He always used to say, walk the talk, leading by example. Walk the talk. Whatever you say, whatever you're preaching, practice that first. Lead by example. And the next one is lesson number 10. Usually, managers or the management or the bigger organizations, they always try to see that they manage everything. But what Jack Welch used to say, he totally altered the outlook. He used to say, manage less. Wherever you need to manage, you manage them, but not in all the scenarios, because a leader is a person who set the vision. A leader is a person who set the vision and inculcated that passion in the in the employees. He ignited the spark, and it is now the responsibility of the employee to live up to it. That part you need to take care of, but not the whole process. You need not manage. Set up the vision, make the employee responsible for it. He used to say this, and figure out what can make you to achieve your goals. First of all, this is the vision of the company. In order to achieve this goal, what should I do? How should I figure it out? What can make you to achieve your goals? Figure out why are you managing too much. Sometimes some managers manage too much, or some organizations manage too much. Why are they managing too much? We need to understand that. Because they want to have the ownership of the job or the role of their doing, or else they want to over manage the situations. But this is not what Jack Welch said. Why are you managing too much? First of all, you have to understand that. What can make you to achieve your goals? Empower, energize, excite, delegate, get out of the way. As a leader, you have to empower your employees. You have to energize them. You have to excite them. Through this, you can develop great leaders. Give them opportunity. When we give them the opportunity, we can understand what they are going to become ultimately, how far they can go by managing less. You can bring out a leadership quality in them. or else you can bring out a leader in him. This is what he used to say. And lesson number 11. Usually the corporates, they involve key players. But he altered the outlook and he said, involve everyone. Here the key players means the boardroom, the managers, the hierarchy, the superiors. That is what here involving the key players is. But he totally altered the outlook, saying that you have to involve everyone. Involve everyone. Sports is here. We should understand again one thing. I always told you all his principles or all his lessons that he taught, all the strategies that he has employed, they are either from his experiences or what he has learned or whatever his mother told him. Here we should understand that Jack Welch is an avid golfer. He's an avid golfer. For him, sports is everything. And he used to consider business also as a game. He used to consider business also as a game. Business is running. What is that you're going to do? Company is like a game for him. Involve everyone in the game. This is his often statement. Often he used to say, involve everyone. Involve everyone means, again, we can go back to that workout initiative that he has taken. And always used to say, hero is a person who has the best ideas. The new ideas should always be rewarded. And the new ideas should be celebrated. When they are rewarded and when they are celebrated, this will be an example for the others, and they get encouraged and they try to contribute more to the company. He considered that GE is not a bureaucracy, it is a meritocracy. What is meritocracy? It's based on merit. It's based on the intellects who work there. So whenever they supply an idea, they used to get rewards. And he used to take them to he used to give them lunch coupons. And he used to take them to arrange some informal meetings. So make everyone, including you, make every team member comfortable to express. Suggest an informal brainstorming session. Informal brainstorming session. Always his meetings, brainstorming sessions, everything is very, very informal. Lesson number 12. Lesson number 12. Stick to your agenda. Usually every corporate or larger organizations, they have an agenda. They stick to that agenda. The procedures, the processes and all that. Sir, excuse me, someone is, I think you have to mute yourself. So every larger organization has an agenda and they stick to it. But he altered the outlook, saying that rewrite your agenda. According to the situation, work according to the situation, strategize according to the situation, plan according to the situation or the problem you are facing. Rewrite your agendas. Be flexible. Be flexible. You can also see that in many of the larger organizations, once many, sir, can you mute yourself, sir? Someone, please.
Okay.
Can you mute yourself? So he used to rewrite your agenda. We have seen that he has, laid off some around 150,000 people. He had some 100 companies he has closed. Means he has rewritten the agenda. Once an employee asked him, if you keep on going like this, when will this change stop? Many of the employees are asking, when will this change stop? Then he told that employee, this will never get over because change is a continuous process. It's not only the things change, everything changes. Like what I told you previously, the competitors change, The markets change, economy changes, revenue changes, technology changes. When everything is changing, even the company has to change. That's what he used to say. So rewrite your agenda. There is no stop for change. Focus on the winning businesses, winning strategies. You can't reduce strategy to a formula. According to him, strategy is nothing a formula. You can't reduce strategy to a formula. You have to keep changing. In order to rewrite your own agenda, what we should do, according to Welch, be flexible and willing to change goals, basic circumstances. Be flexible, don't be rigid, don't stick onto your agendas. Be ready to change. Consider change not as a threat, but as an opportunity to growth. Change goals. Goals may be the constant thing. Goal is constant, but the approach can be flexible. That's what he used to say. Develop alternative plans and options. Always have plan B. Don't have any expectations. Keep your minds open. Several options. Be open to any option. Informal situations. Expect the unexpected. Always it is like that. Like everything, if everything is going fine, something is definitely going wrong. We can't expect that everything is going fine. We strategize something and we think that this is going to be fine. But that may definitely fail sometimes. So don't expect anything. Expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. Don't plan for years ahead. Don't plan for years ahead. Don't have any long-term plans. Have long-term goals and be flexible in the approach. That's what he used to say. So in this lesson number 12, he alters the outlook by saying, don't stick on to your agenda, but rewrite your agenda. In lesson number 13, take your time, live speed. Usually what happens is, in many larger organizations or corporates or whatever it is, take your time, take a good decision, take your time. But I told you, pounce every day. That's what his, mantra used to be. So he used to say, live the urgency, live speed, pounce every day. It's not take your time. The world is moving fast in a lightning speed. So live the speed. That's what he used to say. Many of the large organizations usually, why did he say live the speed? Because many of the large organizations usually, they have a slow process because there are so many filters, so many layers of management. There's so much of layers of management. So because of this, what happens? It hampers the growth, or else it stops the speed. It stops the growth. The speed is hurdle. So what he used to say, live the speed. Unnecessary, procedures or whatever it is, to skip them. Decisions should be made very fast. You can't sit on decisions. So these many layers are there in many larger organizations. Thus, should sometimes in taking decisions, should not, involve in between in taking decisions. Smaller companies, like for example, versus bigger companies, he used to always take the example of smaller companies. GE is a very big company, but he used to always take the example of a smaller company, which is a small shop which is round the corner, somewhere at the end of the corner of the street. If you take that shop or the smaller business, what do they do every day? In order to be in that competitive world, they do every day, their strategies will change. They take new decisions. They go according to the competition. They go according to that day's, that trend. So what Jack Welch used to say, take the examples of these smaller businesses because for them survival is very, very bigger challenge. When GE also employs such kind of attitude in the company, then the company is going to grow, become the biggest company. For this, you need to simplify. The three things that he said for living the speed is simplify, instill self-confidence, and speed. Why he started and why he talked about instilling self-confidence? Because we have seen in the previous, I told you that he has somewhat laid off 150,000 people. Some 100 businesses of GE he has sold. That time, the confidence of the company was at stake. The employees' confidence, the company's confidence was at stake. Then he rose as a leader. He simplified the entire process. He instilled confidence in the employees and that speed. These three things worked for him. So that's what he says. Simplify, instill self-confidence in your employees, and speed up. To build speed, what we should do, according to Welch, be flexible and willing to change goals basis circumstances. Circumstances always not remain the same. They keep changing. So basis the circumstances. What is our target? What is our goal? What approach? Approaches can be flexible. Be flexible for it and be willing for the change. Accept the change. Face the reality. Develop alternative plans and options. Like always have plan B. Always used to focus on plan B. Develop alternate plans and options. Expect the unexpected. That's what he said. Communicate faster. Incorporate speed. Pounce every day. Lesson number 14. Reduce anxiety. Instill confidence. It's not reducing anxiety. Many of the corporates or the larger companies, they try to see to reduce the anxiety. But he changed the entire outlook. And he said that it's not reducing, to just reduce anxiety, it's not enough. You have to instill confidence. When you instill confidence, the anxiety will automatically disappear. So instill confidence in the people, in the employees. The same example I told you previously, when he laid off so many people, when he sold so many businesses, companies, this thing was at stake. Then he started taking many training sessions. He instilled confidence in the workers. He laid a vision. He ignited the spark in every employee. He inculcated that passion in them to achieve that vision, to fulfill that vision. And he called GE an operating system. He called it as an operating system. It's not just a GE company, it's an operating system. Great people make great things happen. When great people make great things happen, everyone who is working in GE company should be a great person. Then only we can make great things happen. That's what he used to instill confidence in the employees. For this, constant and continuous learning is very, very important. If you have to instill confidence, constant, continuous learning, it's very, very important. Speed flows only in simplicity and in self-confidence. That's what he instilled. And lesson number 15, respect the boundaries. Always in larger companies and big, corporates and all, they have certain restrictions. They have certain boundaries. But he said, he altered the outlook. Eliminate the boundaries. Boundaryless company. He made GE a boundaryless company. For this, what he has to do? Larger companies, like what I told you, always they have certain obstacles. Because of certain layers, some hierarchy, some procedures, all these things. They have certain boundaries, vertical boundaries, like subordinates, superiors. There are some vertical boundaries, horizontal boundaries, one domain, other domain. These are horizontal boundaries. There are external boundaries. The company, the customers, external boundaries are there. Geographical boundaries, countries, different countries. he eliminated all these boundaries. By eliminating all these boundaries, he could use GE as an operating system. He called GE as an operating system. What is this operating system? It is conversion of ideas into action. GE is an operating system, means it converts the ideas into action. So to tear down all the boundaries, like Welch, what should we do? Involve and listen to remove horizontal and vertical barriers. Everywhere vertical barriers are there, horizontal barriers are there. Involve in them, listen to them, and see how you're going to remove these barriers. These barriers will hamper the growth. Learn good ideas from within and outside the company. Good ideas can come from within the company and also outside the company. Within the boardroom, outside the boardroom. So learn good ideas from everywhere. Promote boundaryless behaviors. This is what he used to, promote. In lesson number 16, lay out a detailed plan. Many of the larger companies, corporates and all, they lay out a detailed plan for the company, for the organization. But what he used to say, he altered the outlook when he said articulate a vision. You need not have a detailed plan, have a vision. Articulate a vision. And this vision should be clearly understood by every employee in the organization. He realized that company's primary product is people, but not machines. What is a company's primary product? It's not machines, it's not engines, it's not manufacturing, but it is the people. According to him, the best leaders always have a vision. So, if you have a vision, you will have a detailed plan what to do, how to do. And the employees will definitely carry out with passion to attain that vision. So, in order to have if a leader has to articulate a vision like Jack Welch, what he should do, write down your vision and find out how you will communicate. A leader should have a vision, and that vision should be well communicated with everyone in the employees, in the organization. How well are you going to communicate? Make sure to have best people to carry out your vision. Your people should be, your vision should be best carried out by all the people in the organization. There may be many skilled workers in the organization, but on will there will be zero. If on will they are 100% and they are zero on skill, then we can do something, we can train them something. But if the person is skilled highly, but his will is zero, then that person can't contribute to the organization. So all the employees in the organization should understand the leader's vision and work for it. Hire and promote people who can turn your vision to reality. This is what I said. Skill versus will. And in lesson number 17, outshine others. Usually in big organizations, or what we say is, many try to outshine others. This department to that department, this section to that section, this team to that team, this layer to that layer. They try to outshine. But what he used to say, he altered the outlook and he said, spark others to perform. Always the leader strives to see that every employee in his organization performs. Everyone in the organization has to contribute to the organization's growth. For that, everyone's idea should be shared. The top layer should listen first, have a ear to their ideas, to their suggestions. Spark others to perform. Let the others also perform. Let them try to take decisions. When they try to take decisions in small things, the responsibility will develop automatically. And managers in GE should have 4 E's according to Jack Welch. What are those 4 E's according to Jack Welch? Energy. A leader should have energy. He himself should have first energy. Next, he should energize. He should energize his team. He should have the edge, competitive edge, and the will to win. And he should have that execution trait. Should have a track record to get results. And according to Jack Welch, when a person possesses these 4 E's, he is the ideal leader. He wants everyone to be an A player, a sportsman in the game of business. So, how can you spark others to perform? According to Jack Welch, never hog limelight, shout orders, or embarrass colleagues. Never shout orders. Don't hog limelight. Everyone should be brought to light. Debate, discuss, decide. Open boardrooms where everyone can sit and talk. Boundaryless. Everyone can supply the ideas. Appreciate the quality is your job 24/7. Your quality of the job 24/7 should be appreciated. 24/7 you should have that spark to work for the vision of the company. So according to Jack Welch, if you have to spark your employees, never hog them. Allow them to discuss, debate, appreciate the quality of their work. And in lesson number 18, what he says, quality is management job. Again, in larger companies, quality is management job. They are the people who take decisions, who decide everything, discuss on the quality, okay, take a stand on the quality and all these things. But what he said is, quality is your job. It's not management job. Quality is your job. Infuse quality in everything you do. Here he he emphasized on Six Sigma course. Six Sigma course where he came to understand, or where this Six Sigma course was introduced to him by the cell phone company Motorola. Through this Six Sigma course, talks about the quality initiatives that a company should take. So infuse quality in everything you do. Seek your quality training. Once he came to know through his employee survey that the quality of his products has been reducing. It is that time that he has taken the decision that everyone in the company should do that Six Sigma course. And everyone will be appreciated. Those who does the Six Sigma course will be appreciated. Seek out quality training. Make sure everyone knows that best idea wins. And in lesson number 19, be serious, have fun. Usually, it's that big companies and all, they'll be very serious in their approaches or in their targets or in their strategy. But he used to say, have fun. Have fun in the boardroom, have fun with employees, have fun everywhere. Make workplace ideas laboratory. Be in search of a job that challenges you. Every day you should feel that I should go out to work. I should go to the office. What are the challenges that you're facing? Every challenge should have a spark in you. Search for new challenges that offer intellectual growth. Once again, this goes back to his experiences. When he was in college, he used to do a job where he worked for a toy company. The job for him is he has to drill a hole in the wooden plank. Like that, every day he has to drill a hole. He did not find any, happiness in that. So that is what he thought, that employees should have fun, not monotony. Lesson number 20, set modest goals. Set stretch goals. It's not modest goals. You have to set stretch goals where the goal is being stretched. Reach for the unreachable. Discourage decimal point thinking. Don't punish yourself for falling short of stretched goal. So you have to stretch goals. In order to stretch goals, according to Welch, what we should do? Reach for the unreachable. Discourage decimal point thinking. Don't punish yourself for falling short of stretched goal. So out of the 24 lessons that Jack Welch taught us, I think I could manage up to 20 because there is so much to talk. Each lesson says so much to us, but somehow I ensured that all these 20 lessons can drive the point home. All these 20 lessons. Thank you so much for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Okay, thank you, madam, for an elaborate presentation on a personal development initiation program. I, on behalf of every State Council of Higher Education, I thank you for presenting the beautiful book for the benefit of the student and also for the future generations.
Thank you
So,
so much.
on behalf of every State Council, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.